we've just got to make sure that we don't let outside things that we have no control over, like, affect us. I think she got fouled and missed those 2 free throws, and then, got frustrated with the officiating at times, but like that's where we've got to be better.
From record-breaking performances to near suspensions, Caitlin Clark's rookie season has been a roller coaster. Today we're counting down the 5 most intense moments that got her to the brink of suspension. Can you believe Caitlin Clark is just 1 technical foul away from suspension? It's insane. She's racked up 6 techs already this season. But here's the craziest part. Her teammates had to physically hold her back to save her from that 7th tech. We're talking about a superstar rookie who's lighting up the league, but she's also on thin ice. Let's break down how we got here. You know what's even wilder? This isn't just about 1 game. We're talking about the entire season hanging in the balance. If Clark gets suspended, she'll miss a crucial game for the Indiana Fever. Their playoff hopes? They could go up in smoke. Imagine being so close to the postseason and then boom, your star player is watching from the sidelines.
And we've got to, handle those things. It's not going to be perfect. Those guys aren't going to be perfect. We're not perfect. But I think we lost some time with, with that frustration. So that's just something we're talking about. We're growing.
Now, and some extracurricular as Clark's knocked down a couple.
That's the kind of drama we're dealing with here, folks. It's Clark versus the refs, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Clark's not just any rookie. She's a record-breaking machine with a temper to match. But is her intensity a superpower or a ticking time bomb? Let's break down how Clark's fire is both fueling and threatening her career. You know what's insane? Clark's not just breaking records, she's shattering them. We're talking about a rookie who's already broken the WNBA rookie assists record. And get this, she just dropped a career-high 35 points in a game. That's veteran stuff right there. Clark's not playing like a newbie.
And then after that, she came out in the second half and was, she let it go and she was a different player. And that's, just can't have that first quarter.
Of deep triples here in the second quarter.
She's dominating the court like she's been in the league for years. But here's where things get tricky. All that fire that makes Clark amazing, it's also getting her in hot water with the refs. Imagine being so fired up that your own teammates have to hold you back. That's exactly what happened with Clark. She's got this incredible passion for the game, but sometimes it boils over, and boom, technical foul. Clark's even admitted it herself. She said, "I got a technical for basically being mad at myself." Can you believe that? She's so intense, so focused on perfection.
Just that first quarter, and we can't let that affect us so much. The officials, let me handle the officials.
That she's drawing techs for being frustrated with her own play. That's next level competitiveness right there. Now you might be thinking, isn't that what we want from our star players? That fire, that drive? And you're not wrong. Clark's coach, Christy Sides, gets it. She said Clark's passion is what makes her special, calling her just a fiery competitor. But here's the catch. Sides also knows they need to have a chat about these technicals. It's like trying to tame a wildfire without putting it out completely. Think about it. Clark's on the court, she's in the zone, she's making plays that'll end up on SportsCenter. But one wrong move, one heated moment, and bam, she's hit with another tech. It's like watching a tightrope walker perform without a net. You're in awe of the skill, but you're also holding your breath, waiting to see if they'll make it across. And let's be real, the stakes are high. Clark's not just playing for herself, she's carrying the hopes of her team, the Indiana Fever. Every game matters, every point counts. But so does every technical foul. One more, and she's looking at a suspension. Imagine being so close to the playoffs, and then your star player has to sit out a crucial game. That's the kind of drama we're dealing with here. So what's next for Clark? Can she keep that fire burning without getting burned? It's like she's got this superpower, but she's still learning how to control it. Every game is a new challenge, not just against the opposing team, but against her own intensity. You think Clark's the only one walking this tightrope? Let me tell you about another WNBA legend who's been there. Diana Taurasi, one of the greatest ever, has faced multiple suspensions for technicals. It's like Clark is following in some pretty famous footsteps, but is that a good thing? Here's the deal, 7 techs and you're out for a game. Clark's sitting at 6, one more outburst, and boom, she's watching from the sidelines. That's the kind of pressure that can make or break a season. Imagine being so close to the playoffs, and then your star player has to sit out a crucial game. That's the reality Clark and the Fever are facing right now. But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark's coach, Christy Sides, says they need to talk about these techs. But check this out. She also says Clark's fire is what makes her great. Talk about a tough spot for a coach. How do you keep that intensity without letting it boil over? It's like Clark's playing 2 games at once, one against the opposing team and another against herself. She even admitted it, saying she got a technical for basically being mad at myself. That's some next level intensity right there. But in the WNBA, that internal fire can burn you just as easily as it can fuel you. And let's be real, the stakes are higher than ever. Every game matters for the Fever's playoff hopes. Clark's not just playing for herself. She's carrying the weight of her team's aspirations. One wrong move, one heated moment, and it could all come crashing down. So what's the solution? How does a player like Clark keep that competitive edge without crossing the line? It's a balancing act that even WNBA veterans struggle with. Just ask Taurasi. She's been in the league for years and still finds herself in hot water sometimes. The WNBA's rules are clear, but the line between passion and penalty is anything but. It's a constant dance, trying to stay on the right side of that invisible boundary. For Clark, every game is now a test of not just her skills, but her self-control. You know what's wild? Clark's biggest opponent isn't even on the court, it's herself. Think about it. She's racking up techs not because of the refs or the other team, but because she's so hard on herself. That's next level intensity right there. Let's talk about what Clark said. She got a tech for being mad at herself, not at the refs, not at her team, just herself. Can you imagine being so fired up, so focused on perfection, that you draw a foul for your own frustration? That's Clark in a nutshell. But here's the thing. The WNBA isn't college ball. It's a whole different beast. More physical, more intense. Clark's learning that the hard way. She's gone from being the big fish in a small pond to swimming with the sharks. And those sharks, they're not just the other players. They're the refs, the pressure, the expectations. So how does a player like Clark keep that fire without getting burned? It's all about finding that sweet spot between passion and control. Imagine trying to tame a wildfire without putting it out completely. That's what Clark's dealing with every time she steps on the court. Think about it. Every game is like walking a tightrope. One wrong move, one heated moment, and bam, she's hit with another tech. And remember, she's sitting at 6. One more, and she's watching from the sidelines. That's the kind of pressure that can make or break a season. But here's where it gets interesting. Clark's coach, Christy Sides, sees that fire as what makes Clark special. She called her just a fiery competitor. But Sides also knows they need to have a chat about these technicals. It's like trying to harness lightning. You want that power, that energy, but you've got to find a way to control it. So what's the game plan? How does Clark keep that competitive edge without crossing the line? It's not just about keeping cool under pressure. It's about channeling that intensity into her game, not into arguments with the refs. It's about finding new ways to express that frustration that don't end up in the box score. And let's be real, the stakes are higher than ever. Every game matters for the Fever's playoff hopes. Clark's not just playing for herself, she's carrying the weight of her team's aspirations. One wrong move, and it could all come crashing down. Alright, let's wrap this up. We've seen Clark's passion fuel her incredible plays, but it's also landed her in hot water. She's breaking records left and right, but those 6 techs? That's a record she doesn't want. So what's next for Clark? Can she keep that fire burning without getting burned? The Fever's playoff dreams might just depend on it. Coach Sides gets it. Clark's intensity is what makes her special. But they've got to find a way to channel that energy into her game, not into arguments with the refs. Here's the real kicker. It's not just about dodging that 7th tech. It's about Clark becoming a game changer who doesn't let the game change her. She's got the skills. She's got the fire. Now it's time to see if she can master the balancing act.